Hello, guys.
I have no idea what you just said, Elena, because it turns out my speakers were off.
It's okay. Just say hello, everyone.
Hello.
Rebecca, you look wonderful. You
Thank
truly
you.
do.
The glow of 7 months pregnant.
8 months now.
Oh boy.
Oh, wow.
So when is the date? When is our date?
Early March, sometime in the first week of March.
Ah, okay. Oh, okay. Not the second Monday, please. Kidding.
Okay, has anybody heard from Joy?
Not today, but she was supposed to be at the meeting, I thought, no?
Yeah, she said she could be here. So,
Well, maybe she's just pokey like me tonight.
oh,
No, I was reading the budget thing and I'm like, whoa, time is flitting.
well, I headed upstairs to the office to have this meeting and discovered that the entire upstairs has no electricity right now.
Oh boy. What happened?
What happened?
No idea, not a clue.
No. Did you check your box, your electrical box?
Not yet, because I needed this meeting. James is on the phone. When he gets off the phone, we'll go downstairs and check the box. But yeah,
That's the way today has been all day, really. So. Hey. Barely here, but I'm here. So. Okay. Let me get my cup of tea that I've got brewing. Oh, no, I got coffee.
okay, I'm just waiting for Joan to get back.
Okay. I hope everybody's surviving the cold.
Yeah. Not happy about it though. Okay, so Joan is back, so we do have a quorum. We have 5 of the 6 people here. I want to wait for Joy for some things, but this budget stuff is too important. We've got to get moving here. So I will call the meeting to order at 7:05 Monday night. Okay, agenda. The meetings, okay. Can I have a motion to move the election of vice chair to the end of the meeting? I had talked to Joy and she said she was interested in still being it, but I can't do anything when she's not here.
I second it.
Okay, so Karen makes a motion, Elena seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Joan, is it a problem?
I've always got a problem. Okay, was a second, but who was the first? I couldn't
I
hear
did.
you. Okay,
Okay, so unanimous, we will move the election of the vice chair to the end of the meeting. So the next thing on the agenda is the acceptance of the minutes from the last meeting. Do I have a motion? Joan?
I have a comment here. I want to write into the minutes this month an apology to
Okay,
the,
okay, Joan, that has to come after we have a motion and then have the discussion.
oh, I'll put it in the discussion. Okay, so I'll move that we accept them.
I
Okay.
second it.
Okay, all in favor? No, we can't vote. Now we have the discussion.
Okay. I owe them an apology because I put down interim co-directors on the last one and for some reason, and I had spelled Hope's name wrong. I have Grove all the time. I picture this beautiful apple trees, but anyways, I have Grove all the time, and because I used the wrong heading. So I apologize to them. And it was inadvertent, but I will pay attention. You know, somehow I just didn't realize that we had dropped that interim. And now, you know, when I thought about it, I said, of course we had. But so anyways, that's my thing. I would like to apologize. Other than that.
Okay.
Who
Anybody else
seconded?
have comments on the minutes? Okay, then a vote to accept the minutes with Joan's apology for mistakes. All in favor?
I
Aye.
Okay.
Rebecca? You're still muted.
I froze up a little bit. I'm losing my Wi-Fi here.
Okay, yeah, I'm not sure how good mine's gonna be down here in the living room. Okay, so that's unanimous. We accept the minutes of the meeting of December 13th. Okay, next up is treasurer's report.
Okay. For everybody should have gotten it last week, I think. Our beginning balance was $152,490.08. We had some revenue with interest, $55.20, and our expenditures were $13,518.97, leaving us with a balance of $139,026.31. Any questions on that?
No, I didn't have any questions. Not this month. I had some last month.
Yeah, see.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions on the treasurer's report? Elena?
well, more not like a question, but just to make sure that we talk about it. So we are not in any time short. So sounds like we're gonna have enough money to finish up this year. That's what people want to hear. Yes. Okay.
Yes, yes. We don't want to be short again
I
this
hope
year.
so, yeah.
Okay, anything else? Okay, the next is the directors. Oh, Joan, yes?
We have to move to accept it.
No, we don't have to move to accept
Okay.
treasurer's reports
Okay, thanks.
or the director's reports.
Can
Yes, Joan.
I want to make a motion that we table everything but the budget until either the end of the meeting or the next meeting, depending on the time. And we just dispense with all the other things and get this budget done.
Okay. Does anybody second that?
Okay,
I'll go ahead and second it, but it doesn't look like you're gonna get the vote.
I don't think so. What do you think? Okay,
Okay, discussion on why or why why we should or should not do this? Elena?
Yeah, I totally agree though with the concern which Joanne has. I think for the future, it's probably a good idea for us from in December to have a sturdy schedule of all budget meetings. But it's okay. We are where we are now. I think the budget deserves the full meeting, undistracted attention, because I personally have a lot of questions there. And I do not want to be hurry up and, that's my thinking. So I know it's tough moment because we don't have any other meeting scheduled, but we're still obligated to provide a quality discussion, a quality information on this. That's my
Yeah, the fact that we didn't have a meeting last week is really a problem. And last year we had 3 meetings, but one of them came after what is currently our due date this year. They want these things by Thursday. So we really do need to focus. Okay, so we have a motion on the table to table everything to the end of the meeting, providing we have time, otherwise tabling it till the next meeting in February.
Just a
All in
quick
favor? Yes,
point of
Kathy?
this discussion. Can I raise this?
Yes.
Joy just emailed that she still is
Mhm.
suffering some lingering effects from her concussion and can't join us on the screen.
Oh,
Yeah, she says she's
So-
got, I got the email. She says she's got a miserable headache.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And one other thing to say, no progress has been made. I know we want to talk about this later on the policy committee, but I think I agree with the idea that we need to focus on the budget as the primary focus for now.
Okay, Joan, did you have something?
what happened to Joy? Was she in an accident?
I don't know.
I don't know. All I heard from her several weeks ago was that she had a concussion.
No.
She didn't tell me what
Wow.
it happened, how it happened.
Well, I hope she gets better in a hurry. Okay.
Okay, any other discussion? Okay, then all in favor of tabling everything except the budget, say aye. Aye,
Aye.
aye. Kathy, aye. Rebecca, aye. Okay. Elena?
Aye.
No, I was just gonna say, are you opposed, abstaining?
I'm opposed, sorry. It's okay,
yes.
I'll go along with everyone, it's just okay.
Okay, so it is 4 ayes and 1 nay. So the motion passes. So we will, for the moment, not worry about director's reports, policy committee reports, the follow-up on the building. And the agenda originally said scheduling budget meetings, but right now it's just basically, we got to go through this budget. So the stage is yours, Hope and Deb.
Well, pretty much you received what it looks like, what we're hoping for. So it's pretty much, you guys, do you have any questions? Do you want us to go through each item, or how do you want to deal with this?
I think that we should go through each item and ask questions as those items come up. It'll
Okay,
be easier than going all over the place trying to find things.
okay. So we'll start with the, under administration. That was the only area that actually there was an increase of 24%. As you notice, everything else went down either 8.5% or 9% with the other parts of the budget. But those are increases that we are going to incur for a whole nother year as well, until we finish with the minimum wage increases. So there's not much we can do about it. If we keep everything as one goes up, everybody else's, we feel should go up, so that there keeps that same, I don't want to say distance isn't the right word, but so that the person, okay, I knew I was going to screw up with talking tonight. I'm so nervous. Okay. The directors were asking, like with everyone else, we would like for that $1 minimum wage that is mandated by the state to go to everyone, so that there's not that someone less responsibilities, job description, pay ends up making closer to what people are at staying still at the price of what it is right now. So what's the word I'm looking for? We just want to have that carry through to everyone. Last year when we had these increases, not just because of minimum wage but with everyone else, it was because of the job responsibilities. A lot of it was people who had been here for many, many years and never getting an increase. We want to keep that same scenario going. We want certain positions to always be what we explained last year, $1 or $2 or $3 above minimum wage, so that it all works out together. Keep in mind still that for what everyone does, they're still not getting paid what they should be getting as far as statewide with libraries, as far as town-wise with how other people in town are employed and what they get for money. So, but I think by the time we get to next year, with that last final $1 increase because of minimum wage, we would be stable. There would be no reason or need to go any more than that. So it's going to take us another year, this year and next year, we believe, to be where we're supposed to be. Directors are hourly. We do not get paid for the many more hours after 35 that we put in. And we're dealing with that. So, but we do think that, you know, an increase would help in that respect. We know that the directors before us got $24 plus. So we are not asking for anything that hasn't been given before. Especially with us actually carrying on and doing a better job and more responsibilities and whatnot.
Okay, for most of the others, you indicate hours and pay. You're currently getting $22.50, right? So this would increase you to $23.50 an hour?
No, we're only getting 22.
22 even?
Yeah.
Okay, so this would increase you to 23?
Yes.
Okay.
So can I ask something?
Yes, Elena, sorry, I was writing down, I didn't see your hand. Yes, Elena.
Oh, it's okay. So, so first of all, I'd like to suggest, let's do it like if it's possible by the program. So we're talking about administration. Let's just finish up understanding it. Yes, that's okay.
Mhm.
Not like everything. I was afraid that we will go through everything and then, you know.
No, no,
So-
no, I want to discuss as we're doing.
Okay, good. Thank you. So I have serious concerns. No offending though to everyone, okay? I mean, to Debbie and to Hope. But my concern is last year, when we agreed on having 2 co-directors, which I think is, still my opinion is it's not the best decision, but it's okay, it is working now. But we agreed with the condition that second co-director is really taking money, taking the salary of assistant 2, because we don't have assistant 2. So using that position assistant 2, we kind of covered partially co-director, although we still pay much more for the administrative spending for the salaries having 2 co-directors. So now this year, I could see that we are bringing back $13,566 for the assistant 2, and the increase, I'll have to correct you, the 24% increase, it's not mostly for the increase of salaries, it's all salaries of pages. It's also for we put 4.5% increase in the salaries of 2 co-directors. So we are increasing salaries of 2 co-directors where library used perfectly for the salary of 1 director, for the same salary as we have, not like we pay less, but we are cutting our spending on buying books on 33%, or whatever it is there. It was 15,000, now it's 10,000. So we exist for books, but we are cutting books and increasing salaries and taking new positions. And then also my second concern here is that the concern which comes to custodian, because we did not use custodian last year, and I know that money was divided between other people who was doing the work. That's understandable. But now we are putting money again towards custodian to divide everyone. My second concern is that we are doing a total reconstruction of our library structure. So the librarian is not supposed to be cleaning. If, for example, we are losing 2 co-directors, if they are leaving for any reason, we as a library left without custodian, we're gonna be left with a lot of mess, really, because everything is redone now. So I would like you just to pay more attention, everyone, as we discuss to the need of assistant to position. And if we give money to the custodian, but we don't have a custodian, so what we're gonna do about it? Maybe we should have a hire custodians. That's our time to figure it out now. And if we should really cut the books and other spending. And I have a question to Debbie, jumping ahead a little bit, but so it would be overall picture, what I received, the major picture. Then when it comes to newspapers and magazines.
Okay,
Are
Elena,
the
let's just focus on payroll for now. We'll talk about
Okay,
newspapers
sure.
and magazines when we get to
Sorry, I'm sorry.
Let's just talk about payroll. Okay, now in terms of the custodian, Rebecca and I talked a couple of weeks ago. What did you find out, Rebecca? What we talked about was paying people in other jobs to be custodian.
In my, well, I haven't found out anything. Do you mean like, are you talking about legally? Like what
Yes.
that, so I don't know that that is necessarily a legal concern. I think it is inadvisable to not be able to tell if that is on top of people's wages or if it's being paid out of that as wages. Does that make sense?
No. Sorry.
Okay, so the way that it appears to be done right now is for the custodial duties to, that line item is being used, is distributed over the payroll, but it's impossible to tell if that's instead of other payroll or if it's just on top of the payroll.
Okay, I got it.
You get it? I didn't get the question.
So that's,
Okay, a big concern. Yeah, Joan.
Well, it's last year's budget. The custodian was 0. There
Right, that's
wasn't-
because the cleaning
You're
came
not-
out of the grant.
Okay, but if you're going to hire somebody, you've got to put it in the budget, or you're not going to have any cleaning this year. So this has
Okay.
to go in.
But what happened was through the grant, a custodial service was hired and they didn't show up. So Jen and Deb were doing the cleaning.
Mhm. Okay,
And if we're gonna leave it with other staff doing the cleaning, no matter who it is on the payroll, we have to be able to document the hours
Mhm.
that they're actually working for the library and the hours they are actually being a custodian. This is
Yeah,
what
we
Rebecca
did
and I
that.
had talked about. We have got to be able to differentiate.
You can't.
This page worked 12 hours doing this, and then somewhere it is listed and 2 hours for cleaning, and it is kept
yeah,
distinctly separate.
okay.
We are doing that. When we do payroll, there is a distinct separate line for cleaner custodian, so you could clearly see what hours are used for cleaning, and then separate from your regular staff hours.
Okay.
Okay, that's exactly right then. That's good.
Okay.
And we
Okay,
didn't have,
that's what Rebecca and I had talked about earlier, and we need to make sure that that is completely separate.
Yes.
But yes, it was nice that last year there was no custodial budget because the grant paid for it, but no longer there.
It's got to be a line item there. And I always assumed that any cleaning was extra hours beyond the normal working hours.
Right. Okay, Elena?
Yes, I totally agree with Joanne that when we are hearing that we work much more hours, I assume that those hours are partially custodian. But I want just to make a note because I was here longer than others on the board, a little bit longer. So I happened to see that when we had a custodian, a person working, we paid $9,000. $9,000.
9,600 is what I saw in the last budget.
Was it 96? Yes, that's true. 9,600. No, yes, 9,600. But we had a person who was responsible to do the job. So you could, if there is a problem, you could come to that person and say, why this and why that? Now we can't really do that because we have no idea who is doing what. I don't know if that's what we want to keep it that way.
Hope?
We do know, I mean, here we've had a clear system and we've worked it out with Amanda where the custodial line is a different line, it's a different rate of pay. And it's been picked up by Jen for the last several months. There is one day Deb did put in hours, but besides that, it's just Jen. So if you look at our payroll thing, you'll see custodian, you'll see it under her name. She averages about 6 extra hours a week. So we have that all figured out. And under our custodian for this one, with Elena saying the 9,000, we are right around there with the, 8,800 to figure in. And we want someone because Jen doing it now, she does not want to further do it. So we want someone local who can come in exactly how you're explaining, Elena, that is just for the custodian. And we can talk to about all those problems. That's the goal.
So the idea is if we get this in the budget, that eventually you will be looking for someone to work 2 hours a day, 5 days a week?
Yes.
Okay.
and we are saving money there because it's not gonna be at $20 as it once was. It's only gonna be $17.
Well, it would be
And a
saving.
lot of the people that have, with the positions that are listed, I hope you're noticing that a lot of these are going down. There's not too many that are going up, even with the additional minimum wage, because people are, we budget in less hours for them because we want to get someone else in to help as another person. We're going to be losing one of our pages as of this summer. She's going to be going on to college. So we're trying to think about the future, trying to think of who can do what when, how many hours need to be filled in, how many maximum do we need, what's the least that we need, and, and good wages, decent wages,
Okay, Elena?
Well, I wanted to just comment that maybe when you said, I missed it. Do you have people who are ready to do the job for $17? Because it's not, when you say we are saving, it means we already found somebody to do the job for this amount of money. Because I know the custodian's job is not the cheapest job. People are busy, whether we like it or not.
What everybody else does.
Hang on, let Elena finish. Let Elena finish.
Yeah, as far as I know, the custodian's job has always been priced higher than the clerk's job, because just it's different, physically challenging. It's a different type of job. So when we say that we are saving, we are not really saving because we don't have the person yet. We did not find. What if for your $17 we'll find nobody? What's going to happen?
Well, that's just it. We need to find someone who will work the 2 hours for 5 days a week at $17 an hour. That's what we will have to find.
But we did not find yet means that savings did not take place yet. And I have a lot of doubts that years ago, 2 years ago, we had problem finding somebody for 9,600 and we had to do lots of tailoring in order to make sure that we do have the clerk, no, not the clerk, sorry, the custodian. And now we're just saying, oh, for $17, somebody just will come and take. If we could not find it 2 years ago, why are we so sure we'll find it now? When people do not really want to go take jobs. So that's why I would rather suggest to budget at least the amount which we had 2 years ago, 9,640, to make sure if we have extras, that's okay. But at least we will be on the level of the previous successful hiring.
So what you're saying is you would pay a custodian $20 an hour?
Well, I would like to have a custodian. I would like to have somebody who comes in volunteering for jobs. That's what I would like. I'm not going to be that person. But to look real at it, I would like to have the person who is doing the job. And we can give them $15 and we'll never find one. 17, we'll never find one. We need to find one. If you would represent us these numbers and would say, hey, we have a person lined up for the job. No questions. We have nobody. And I know the problem which we went through looking for the custodian to work for $20 an hour. We hardly found that person. So remembering this, I just would like to be a little bit cautious because for the small overall budget, if we will not budget that extra $1,000, we could be in problem finding it. And as we did before cutting on books, I don't think we should count on cutting books because as I see, they are cut ridiculously low now.
Okay, I just looked this up because I'm curious. And according to Indeed.com, that job search thing, the average custodial salary in Connecticut is $15.24 an hour.
Well, we had a big problem finding that person.
I don't remember.
Yeah, it says the top earners are making $15 an hour.
It's higher than both the clerks.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just, like I said, I'm just looking to see what it says. And ZipRecruiter says even less. ZipRecruiter says $12 an hour average, but that's national average. So I know what you're worried about, Elena. I really do, because filling any positions right now is hard. The town has a position open for a recording secretary and they are having trouble filling it. There are jobs and not employees out there. But if we go to $20 an hour and we're $5 an hour over the average salary in Connecticut for custodial staff, but we're way under for everything else we pay, is that a balanced budget? Is that a balanced payroll?
Well, as long as we have a person, I don't mind things. I think that's wonderful if we will find the person. I have doubts that we will, though. That's all.
Yeah, no, I understand. But as I said, there's doubts in every place as to whether or not they'll find somebody. It's just the way the market is right now.
Well, I also, sorry.
Joe?
No, I just think that I think Elena's got a good point that it doesn't look high enough, but we just have to go ahead and budget. And we have to hope that we get one. And if we don't, why then our young people may, some of our people in the library may want to do that. But have we looked at even, the high schools for 2 hours a day after school or something, so I don't know what we've done to tap it. No matter where you are in the country right now, you have trouble getting help. But I don't think that exonerates us from not putting it in the budget.
My concern is that, okay, whatever the hourly pay may be is one thing. It's getting someone in here that is going to do as good of a job or a good job for what they're getting paid, whether it's 17 or 20 or more dollars an hour. Right now, I know you're all having issues with people that are here, employees doing it, because no, it shouldn't be our job. But meanwhile, it's never been done as good as it has been, and we are saving money doing it this way, and it is getting done. So I have an issue with, you're right, it's been over the years that our custodians have made more than most people. I have an issue with it when I hear things like, you know, we can't get more money because we don't have the education or things like that. But with a custodian position, you know, you don't have to worry about an education. There isn't any experience. You know, it's just, it doesn't set right with me. I know what you're all saying, but if that's the case, heck, I'll take the $20 job custodian and not have the headaches or the heartaches or all the, you know, that sounds like a good deal. I don't think that it would be hard to find somebody. My concern is, who are we going to find that is going to do as good of a job as what we do?
That's true, but you just said
That's the
Jen
hard
doesn't
part.
want
I
to
don't
do it
think
anymore.
17 is going to be that, you know, that's not a bad price to do custodial work, considering, you know, it may be more manual, but not even that much. Who doesn't clean their house? It's pretty much along the same line. So it's not all that much hard work.
Well, I
Yes,
think we're
Elena.
spinning wheels. I think we're spinning wheels. The question really boils down.
need to
Okay,
have-
Joan,
We
I
need to have
offered
room.
the table to Elena. Hold on just one sec.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. I just also, to move from the question, we kind of discussed it. But I also have a serious concern, and I would say I do not agree to increase the salary of 2 co-directors on 4.55%. I'm sorry. I no offending to you, Hope and Debbie. I do not represent your interest now. I represent the town's interest, library's interest. So that really concerns me. That concerns me that we have 2 co-directors, 2. We pay double salary, what we used to pay. We used to pay the same amount for 1. Now we have 2, and we pay like we have 2 directors, not like we split the salary. No, we have no savings. That's additional 41,000. So I do have problem over there too. And they, again, cutting money for the books and increasing such substantial salary. And Hope and Debbie, please don't be mad on me, okay? That's not personal. That's just what the structure of the budget and where it concerns me. Sorry, guys.
Okay, we were talking about the custodian. Should we leave it at 2 hours a day, $17, 5 days a week, and try and find somebody?
Mhm.
Okay,
That's-
and we
that's the
worked
first
all of these numbers out last year about co-directors versus a director and a programmer, because what says programmer now, assistant 2 is really just assistant 2, given the programmer job as well, simply because she really likes doing, well, not simply because, but she really likes doing it. But we worked all of this stuff out last year, and the decision was made that we were not spending that much more money paying 2 co-directors versus a director at a higher salary and a program director. So at this point, I'd like to say, if it's okay with people, to just say, okay, we're leaving it with co-directors. We're giving everyone on the payroll $1 an hour increase and adding a custodian in. Okay, Elena?
Yeah, but we are also adding assistant 2 for 13,566. That's additional position. I
No,
would
it's
not say
not
a
an, no,
word.
Elena, it's not an additional position. It's just a position that was not, it was in our budget last year. It was
No.
in our budget last year.
No, we
But-
have 0.
Yeah,
No.
we ended up taking 0 because the grant was paying for it. We cut it,
I'm sorry.
we cut it out of the budget. When they didn't give us the budget that we wanted, it was cut out of the budget and paid for through the grant. It was this is not a new position. It's just, it's got to go back into the budget as opposed to being paid for in the grant.
They don't want us to do all these extra
I
things.
don't, I'm sorry. I probably forgot. I don't remember paying for the assistant 2 position from the grant. I think we did not have right to use the grant for the administrative purposes.
No,
I
the
don't
grant
think
wasn't
so.
used. The grant was used for hiring a cleaning company.
That's different. I'm talking about assistant 2.
I was
Which
still
we-
talking about custodial, sorry.
Oh, no,
Um,
yeah, you said assistant too, so a programmer, so that's not custodian. I was talking about that we have additional $13,566 for the assistant too, which we cut that position, taking into consideration that we have 2 co-directors. And now, and it went along, we were down like 10,000 down in spending for this. But now we were down there and now we bring back that position for 13,000. It's a third line. If you will see, that's a third line, 13,566.
But one of the issues with this one was when we needed to cut the budget, that was cut because shutting down for COVID, that position wasn't really needed. Now that the library is reopening, that position is more important this year.
Not how I remember, sorry. I remember that we cut that position because of the second co-director. We
Oh.
agreed that because we have
No.
second co-director.
No, we didn't
No.
cut the assistant too. We cut the programmer at $29,000 a year. We cut the programmer to have 2 co-directors.
I don't see $29,000.
No.
Where is
This
that?
this was from 2 years ago, Elena. 2 years ago, there was a director making whatever they were making and a programmer that I could be wrong. I thought the pay was $29,000 a year.
No
Um,
numbers like this.
So I
No.
wasn't.
Not on these. Like I said, this is pre-COVID. Then we asked for this position. We asked for the assistant 2 position in the budget, but when our budget was not what we asked for, that position was cut because of COVID. The library wasn't open all those hours. It didn't need to be. But as the library is reopening, that assistant 2 position was put back in, but the person who is currently doing that assistant 2 position is also taking some of the programming thing, not everything. Deb's still doing programming, but she is taking over some of the programs. So maybe calling it programmer assistant 2 is a bad idea and just call it assistant 2. But the reason it's back in the budget is because with the library open full hours now, we just need more people than we had last year.
Yeah.
Deb?
We also need it because as directors, that's something that we've taken on, again, to try to help save money with the last budget. So, you know, I know there's still an issue with having co-directors, and I can't tell you how that does bother me. And I don't take it personally, but it does bother me because for what we do and for what price that we are paid, one person could not do it on their own. Matter of fact, guys, look back the last few years, one person didn't do it on their own, and hence the mess, and we're still having to deal with that. So I wish that would be something that people could get over, that, you know, having 2 co-directors, one person by themselves would not be able to do it on their own. You, like you say, I understand you want a co-director and an assistant, and that would be something fine. That's just a label that you're throwing on 2 different positions. But we, you know, everything, there's so much that it is equally shared, so it should be a shared title as well. You talk about like we shouldn't be doing the cleaning or going to the dump or different things. As directors, these are things we do. We took away the programming position to save money. We would like to have it back because it is something that we do need now going forward. Let's hope that COVID is going to lessen at some point and we can get the programming and stuff back here the way it used to be and the way it should be. Even with taking it on, you know, this last year, it's not all that it can be. Actually, COVID has been very much a friend to the library and the town as far as finances goes, but trying to be fiscally responsible, thinking about moving forward, being positive, having growth, you know, we should have a program person back in the budget because it is needed. It was always needed and it still is needed. We were just able to do without it for some time, but we don't know we still have half of a year for this year to finish up on our budget. We're talking about a whole nother, you know, 6 months and then a year from now which is what we're trying to focus on as far as our needs. And it is going to look a lot different than it was last year for a lot of reasons. But yeah, and matter of fact, I know because I did it for $12 an hour, 34 hours a week. And it was costing the library, the town, a little over $21,000. Here we're doing it for almost half the hours, a couple of dollars more per pay, and for a lot less price. So you're reintroducing a line item for a need that's needed for a lot less than what it was once upon a time. Not to mention, it gives us an extra person with losing someone in the summertime, so that if anybody's ever sick, on leave or whatever, we need a body here. It's, you know, like having a custodian body is not going to help us. We need to have someone else on staff who can be there to fill in not only their responsibilities and jobs and hours, but anybody else's that happens for whatever reason, you know, come up.
Hey, Joan? You're muted, Joan. Joan, you're muted.
I was doing you all a favor by muting myself. So Elena laughed. Okay, Elena, I agree with you. The idea of co-directors. There's a piece here that nobody talks about. We've tried the single director. We've tried that. It has not worked very well for quite a while. And if you want to have a successful library, it appears that Willington needs to hire its own in order to keep them here. They have used this library as a stepping stone and a resume builder. So you hire people from out of town that have no connection. They stay for 2 years or a year and a half, and they move on to a higher paying job. At this point in time, we have 2 people that are willing to stay. We have continuity of program. We have continuity of personnel, which is just phenomenal for any business. And so if it costs us a few bucks here or there more, because it's not a whole lot more, then so be it. So be it. It cost us a heck of a lot more to have a new person come in, screw up all of the programming because they're new to it, and then take off and leave. That's expensive. And that is what we're trying to avoid. So let's get over the dual directors at this point in time. Yes, we'll probably revisit every time there's a budget. We'll probably revisit and see if it's still working for us. But right now, I think we've got bigger fish to fry in this budget. And I'd really like to move on with it. I want to get to bed tonight before midnight.
Elena?
Yeah, well, I have my major concern about this budget is not major. One of the concerns is also 4.55% increase in salary for co-directors. That's where I think a little bit too much. I understand 2.5%, but taking into consideration that we cut on books and we increase the salary, I have a problem there. Sorry.
Since we keep going back to books, can we bring that topic up? We just, during COVID, had, with the help of, well, us guys having time being here, help of a couple of volunteers, have literally weeded out the whole library. So we have room for new books, which is wonderful. We don't spend that much money on books as a rule. And I'm the first one that I've always been told by prior directors and just everybody library related that you never cut on expenses like that. We did a little, we cut it 5,000, but we're only taking away 2,600, I think, and $45 because we're just rearranging it. We took some money from books to put in audiobooks and in DVDs because they're more expensive.
Okay,
and that
okay.
happens to be a
Deb,
need.
Deb, let's not worry about putting it in audiobooks. Where did it get into the payroll? We're still working on payroll.
All right, then continue. That's just the books keep getting
Okay.
brought up, so.
Okay, I understand Elena has a problem with 4.5% increase for the directors, but be aware that if minimum wage is going from What's current minimum wage? $13 an hour?
13 going to 14.
That is huge. That is a 7.7% increase. That's twice what we're giving the directors, or almost twice what we're giving the directors. It's
You only
state
have to have
mandated
one.
for $1 an hour raise for everybody with the other things. So I don't think it's really fair to have to give everybody else, give people at minimum wage a 7.7% increase and complain about the co-directors getting a 4.5%. I understand. I would like a 4.5% raise. I would. I got 3% last year and I was grateful for the 3%. But I don't want to argue that right now. We can worry about that when we see what BOF gives us and if we need to cut things. Okay, can we move on from payroll? Okay, town is paying for Social Security, Medicare, and employee health insurance, or town is paying, okay, I didn't understand this town takes care of. Is that just the Social Security or is it health insurance as well?
The Social Security, the town automatically on the sheet that Donna gives us, they
Yeah.
calculate it. We don't have to do anything as far as that. They have it set up where whatever the state mandates, they just show it, and that's what, we have to pay into it, kind of a thing.
Wait a minute. You're saying that the town takes care of it. Now you're saying we have to pay into it.
No, it takes care of as far as calculating what we would pay.
Okay, but then the town doesn't take care of it. If we're paying, they just do the math.
Correct.
Okay, so
So
let's.
that's not town takes care of, that's town calculates.
Yeah,
Okay, so
The town does not.
they
pay
tell
the
us
Social
what we need to pay in that line item. We don't have any control. We don't know what that looks like. They just,
Okay, so
they-
this is,
they calculate it in for us.
that is mandated then, this amount.
I don't know if it's mandated, it's just kind of always, I think, has automatically been done. because
Well,
I don't know how
Social
else to-
Well,
Security is
Social
not a pull it
Security
out
is
of the hat.
mandated. You have to. Sorry, Joe.
It's mandated by law what the percentage, right?
Oh, yes.
Okay,
would
so it is
imagine,
mandated.
Yeah.
Okay, what about Medicare? Is that mandated?
Yes.
Is anybody on Medicare?
Well, that's a whole nother issue I want to bring up as far as the employee health insurance. Again, to save money, hoping I didn't go with it with the last budget.
Okay,
Because-
okay, wait a minute, Deb, that's a different question.
Okay.
Hold on. Medicare is a line item that gets taken out of your paycheck, Joan, just like Social Security does. You're not collecting
Wait a minute.
Medicare. That's not important. Money for Medicare is taken out of your paycheck and put into the Medicare fund. That is a federally mandated deduction from your paycheck.
Everybody pays into Medicare then?
Yes.
Oh, I thought it was just us who are registered for it.
No,
No.
no. Everybody pays into Medicare,
Okay, thanks.
just like Social Security. Okay, now Deb, health insurance.
Oh, so again, to save money, it wasn't needed before because both Hope and I were on our husband's insurance. So it was at 12,000. I don't know if there's any money there, but I know for myself personally, I now have to pay for my own insurance. And I checked with Amanda at the town and she sent me some paperwork as far as what the town offers. But as of August 1st, for example, I am on Medicare. So I really don't need what the town has, but I would like to see if there's not some kind of compensation since now it's coming out of my own pocket for my own insurance. And I'm not covered anymore like I was before, last year on my husband's. So I don't know, what to do about that line item, what that would look like. But I just want to let you know that it is something that I think that maybe I might need.
So does that mean we're putting it in the budget?
We should be putting money into that anyways, even if we're not using it, like for a couple other items, like unemployment and sick leave and whatever. We should be putting in money in that line item every year anyways. That's just smart business, and so you have a nest egg that you are growing. I would imagine that health insurance before wasn't all used up, kind of a thing, with people, I would think, coming and going. I don't know if that, like I say, is put someplace, like with sick leave in a special account. But it is, so we were thinking, okay, 500 for each of those items. We haven't done that. We didn't do it last year, but it is good business practice. Being fiscally responsible.
Right, okay, I know there's a fair amount in the sick leave escrow account because no one has used it, because right now no one is eligible for sick leave.
We did
Unemployment,
have unemployment, but there's so much, I mean, I would think that I don't know how much of that is gone. We did notify Amanda to find out what that looks like. Because it did, it did get used up, or a lot of it got used this past year.
right, that's what I was gonna say. We don't know how much is
Left.
in the unemployment because it was used up, but I do know sick leave escrow has a fair amount in it. Rebecca might know from the most recent things, but I remember when I was getting reports, it was over 12,000.
Yeah.
And no one has used it since. Okay, so we're gonna put in 12,750 for Social Security and Medicare, which are mandatory things taken out of the paycheck. We're going to put in a line item for health insurance for 12,000, just in case someone needs it, like Deb. And then we're gonna not put a lot into either unemployment or sick leave escrow, because we know sick leave has a lot in it and no one's using it. And Deb will look into how much is in unemployment.
Sorry, Karen, I have a question.
Yes, Elena.
Maybe I misheard you. Did we change any of the numbers which are given to us here? Or you just misspelled? You said 12,700, I think I heard, or maybe I misheard you.
12,750 is what my paper says for Social Security.
Which paper? Because I have this budget. It says this budget. It says,
I don't know, the one
well,
that came through multicolored.
It'll be on there too.
well, it's mine is supposed to be multicolored. So it has $12,213.
Yes.
So what's the correct number? 13.
1,200.
$12,213 for Social Security / Medicare.
Okay.
Do I look at some
It's
different?
possible we printed out different things.
I have
thought
what
I
you
printed
have,
out-
Elena. I have
Yeah.
what,
I just want to understand what we are looking, because we're going to be counting and
Yeah. Okay, Kathy, which one do you have?
I have 12,213, same as
Okay.
Elena.
So I must not have.
I do
printed
as
out-
well.
Okay, so I printed out the wrong one, it's me. Okay, and then employee health insurance, what are we doing for that? What are we putting in for that?
500.
500,
We have
Okay.
500.
okay,
Yeah.
and then 500 into unemployment and 500 into sick leave.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that what we're saying? Yeah, I'm just
Yes.
making sure that my numbers match yours.
Yep.
Yes. Yes. So legal professional fees, 3,100.
Adding that.
Office supplies, 2,700. Is it what you have, Karen?
I have 3,100.
Okay. Professional development, 350. Staff hardware, 2,000.
Okay, wait a minute. Between legal and professional fees and professional development, I have office supplies.
Office supplies, hold on, did I put it?
Because
Because I
everybody
hold on.
got the wrong things.
Yes,
Has that
yes,
been-
yes,
has that
yes.
been moved someplace?
27, yeah, 2,700.
We did
Okay,
all-
I have a question about that.
They don't even-
Last year,
Yeah.
they put in for 5,000,
Yes.
and the thing up at the top says cannot lower. What does that mean if we're lowering it to 2,700 when it says we cannot lower? Deb?
Okay, when we did this, and I apologize if it is confusing, but I was looking at it so we can see from where we started to now. So like everything in red was after we did budget cuts last year, and that was one of the things last year that we couldn't lower. So I apologize to you guys if that's
But they're
confusing,
not looking at
but
Okay,
yeah,
so the cannot lower just goes with the 5,000 that we put in the budget. for
from
last
last year. But this year is the 3,100, and everything in purple, basically everything in purple is this year what we're asking for, and everything highlighted is the new prices. So that's my fault if it's confusing in that way.
Okay, well, one of the issues, Hope, is none of us have color printers.
I don't have
Oh
color
my God.
printer, so you just have to say the numbers to us. So
Okay, that makes a lot
Yeah.
of sense.
So
I
that's
apologize.
the issue. I saw
Okay.
it, I saw it online in color, but I printed it out in black and white.
me too.
Because for us, we just wanted to see like what we asked for last year as where we came this year, because it's pretty consistent on our needs. But I understand now that there's no color, so that makes it confusing.
And
So
I
you
am
just-
looking at it in color because my printer has no ink, so I'm open.
Yes, the same for me.
I'm going back and forth on screens.
Oh,
So that's why
And
could you
see-
please just name the numbers? Let's just say the numbers, no colors reference.
Okay,
okay.
okay, so we're going with the 2,700 for that.
Yes.
Okay, now professional development, Elena said was 350.
Professional development.
Yes.
Legal and professional fees, or
Professional development right here. So the next going on the next page.
we're skipping around?
Okay, and that 350 is because you guys still with COVID are holding off on training and conferences, right?
Yeah,
Trying to help with,
Okay,
exactly.
Joan, question?
I'm not understanding what you said. It says mileage 350, but then there's nothing to go to. There's no reason for mileage according to what we're seeing there. So there's something missing, some detail that's missing, because we cut out all of the professional training, right?
Yeah, we cut out all of the professional training. They didn't have it last year. It's unlikely with COVID that they'll be this year. The mileage is just everything we go to, like anytime we have to run an errand, when we take things to the dump, when we get salt for the
Okay.
brine. Yeah.
Okay, I knew that was what it was, but the question is, if that's what it is, does it belong under professional development?
Well,
I
that's what
agree.
that's what we were going back and forth with, and it's like, do we make its own line? Do we put, where would you think we could put it? Because we can move it. It's just the number we would need. That's just where it's at.
Elena?
Sorry, I would totally agree with Karen Ann that we need a separate line for it, and for the professional development to keep it and just put 0 in there if we don't use it. I totally agree, and have a line saying mileage spending, whatever it is, whatever it could be.
All
Okay,
right, well, we can email Donna with that, no problem. So they want to make a separate line for it that says mileage, and we'll keep the professional development at 0.
Unless we have some way, because they used it before, didn't? Maybe they put it under some other program, under some other number. I wonder.
we can ask, yeah.
Yeah, because that's where it's been since we've been here. So we were wondering the same thing, like it doesn't really fit. That's where we put it. So we can talk to Donna about its own line item.
Well, like trash removal, for example, we have 0. Maybe we can put it because it's connected to trash, to take the trash out. Maybe that's what we can put it.
No, we're not charging it. We don't charge for going to the dump. It's other things. It could be bank, it could be errands to BJ's or Walmart to pick up the water softener salt.
Yeah, that's like a monthly thing.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll figure, maybe, we're not sure what it'll be under. Maybe it just needs to stand alone.
Yeah, exactly.
Or we can just use it miscellaneous. We can put it towards miscellaneous. And for ourselves, we can make a note that miscellaneous include boom, boom, boom. Whatever does it include?
Yeah,
Because I
and
know it could be a problem to add additional program to it, to the budget. So miscellaneous.
That's a good
yeah,
idea.
that's a good idea, Elena. We could do that.
okay, so then we would move that 350 to miscellaneous where there's already 200, so that would become 550.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would suggest that.
Okay, that's a good idea, Elena. I would like to get it out of professional development.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. We could do that.
Okay. Did you fix it? Sorry, I got distracted. James is trying to get our electricity back.
Oh, don't worry.
Okay, Anything else on that, or can we move to staff hardware?
Hold on 1 second, son.
Did that fix it?
I'm okay with this part. I don't know about the rest.
Yeah, our staff hardware is basically just paying for our E-rate consultant, so there's nothing really extra there.
Okay. Okay, software.
Pretty much the same thing. Those are all annual prices.
Okay, and so there's nothing here that isn't necessary.
Well, we are right now, how we talked about, if you guys remember, getting the computers, the free computers, and now getting a quote for having them installed and hard drives and working with people to work on our infrastructure. We actually talked, the company's Novus, and we talked to him, and he's talking about getting all the staff licensing through TechSoup, which could be cheaper, which could lower that GoDaddy fee. It could be lower, but he's not able to do it in the amount of time we need, so we can keep it there. And worst case scenario, we don't use it, it goes to something else, but we couldn't get it done in the time we had.
We might be able to save some money on that, but
But we're not positive.
yeah.
Okay, but since we're not positive, I guess we have to leave it there.
Yeah.
Okay, bank fees, did that get straightened out? That we don't have any of these other ones? We just have, in case there's an overdraft or something, there's none of that other stuff that was going on?
We don't know what the future is going to hold at this point. So far, they waived those kinds of fees. We would talk to the bank and we're hoping that we can get back to the way it used to be, so we don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
Okay,
But again, that's in the works.
Yeah, and it is just like the in and out process. And then we got hit with, because the mail being slow, like one of our credit card bills, and they did waive it this time, kind of a not next time thing. So we don't know if it'll get held up again, but it's pretty much just in and out, nothing too crazy there.
okay. Payroll processing, that goes to the town, right?
Yep, and it just went up to the 745 instead of the 595.
Okay. Okay, trash removal, we've got 0 down. You're not going to charge for taking things to the dump, you said.
Yep.
Okay. Landscaping.
Oh, here.
Yeah, the landscaping, I have a big question. So why is it more than doubled? I have nothing against it. I just want to understand. From 2,500 in 2021, we are here 6,150.
Well, we still have someone who is doing our landscaping, who does our gardens and pretty much the gardening, where the flagpole is,
Yep.
trims the front of the bushes, does the mulching in that area and weeding and whatnot. That's not changing. Where extra comes in would be non-landscape individual, but landscape company. He actually mows our grounds. He's hired by the town and the town pays him for doing that. But when he was out here, he's been out a few times, there were issues as far as how things were done. And he gave us some ideas as far as how we could correct it, where it would be lower maintenance, no mowing in these areas, and something that would look a lot nicer and be more practical. For example, we have, familiar with the library, you come in, we have the front parking lot, then we have the side parking lot. There is like a little island that has a light pole and a tree. And every year they plow the dirt, the snow and the sand onto this area, and it's totally destroyed the grass. Grass doesn't grow there anymore. The roots are
It
showing.
doesn't look
The
great.
light pole right now has a dent in it. He suggested that we could put down, take down the tree. It's gonna die anyways at this point if they don't change what they're doing and how they're plowing and whatever. Take down the tree, take up the grass, prepare it so that you can put down redstone that matches the brick on the building. It'll become an island where you don't have to worry about mowing or raking or, a tree dying or whatever, that kind of a thing. We have a tree on the side of with the side parking lot, as it says, which is coming down. It's old, it's leaning, it needs to be taken down, it's rotted. We also have a birch tree that needs to come down. It's beautiful, but it's leaning. It's not good for the side of the building when they went over through the defacing part of it. So they're gonna cut that down. We also have trims on the side where the pavilion is that have branches that are also hanging that need to be trimmed. So there are things that our landscaper, Jen, can't do herself, but he was one that would be willing, because he's not only mows the lawn for us and the town pays for it, but he also has his own landscaping company. And when looking at different things that need to get done around the building that have been neglected for a while, he came up with some really good ideas. Same thing, we have our dumpster, which has been the fencing around it, for example, has pretty much fallen down. We talked about, that's an eyesore. When you pull into the driveway, it's the first thing you see. We would like to have that move towards to the back at some point. This isn't something that has to get done right away or whatever, but there are things that need to get done that would help us in the future, cost us less money now and later, and easier to maintain. So again, just trying to be smart, planning on ahead, starting someplace, somewheres. But one thing was to move the dumpster, for example, where you don't see it and it's not an eyesore. Don't worry then about having to cover it up because you're noticing it, and put it on, a slab, because it can't sit on the ground in the back because it's not the right kind of pavement to do that. Same thing, the snow plows put the snow onto the grass. We have a hill where, because of the salt and whatever, grass isn't growing and it gets all torn up. He mentioned that he would recommend, and he said other people in town do it all the time, where you should have it limed and fertilized. He'd be willing to do that. So the grass will grow and it'll look nicer. I know right now, which I just noticed the other day, the plows tore up all of our curbing. When you go into the driveway, you look where the mailbox is, there's got to be 3, 4, 5 pieces of good length curbing that just is gone, torn up and got moved around from where I have no idea. So it's stuff to make it look nicer, have it be more practical. And again, like I said, it may cost something up front, but it won't cost us any money after to maintain it, sort of a thing. So for that reason, with having him here and trying to think, what we needed, that's where those prices come from.
So can I have a question?
Yes, Elena.
So as I understand, those 5,150, that's a price for one-time projects being done, being accomplished. So it's not something what we need on a regular basis in our budget. It's just temporary for this year to fix things up. Did I
And it's
understand
not
that right?
building maintenance, so that's why I didn't go with the building maintenance. It went with, because it is part of the grounds. The
But
landscape.
it's a one-time
Yes.
fixing, and then we can go back towards 1,000 like we did last year.
Exactly, yeah.
And then we're wondering too, I don't know, and I don't know if this is something that would be even new to me, because it's never been done. I'm not so sure that, should that be out of our pocket, or since the town is supposed to take care of the building grounds and whatever, and they pay for mowing, I would question that maybe they should be paying. They're the ones who are damaging everything. They should be the ones fixing it, but you know, we were thinking of running it by them and asking them if they can't help pay for some of this stuff.
It's one thing to
Instead of
say
coming out
that,
of the library budget.
right, it's one thing to say that, but if we don't put it in the budget and then the town says, no, they won't pay for it, what do we do?
Well, yes.
Exactly, that's why we included it.
Again, it was a thought that we didn't have enough time to follow through on because we had to get this ready for the budget. But it's a thought as far as maybe saving some money out, you know, later on.
And making progress on the building at the same time, yeah. Or the grounds, I should say.
So we're hoping to maybe get some help with that. We have to ask, but yes, so it's in the budget until otherwise.
Mhm.
Okay.
Can I quick correction?
Yes,
Quick question?
Elena.
Yeah,
Sorry,
so
I keep looking down and not seeing.
it's
sorry.
okay, it's okay. It's okay. So 5,150, which is increase. Is it particular prices which you already priced out, or that's just your approximate guess?
No, these prices have already been priced out through him.
He
Okay.
gave us a
Quotes
this
for
stuff.
these, yeah.
Same
Okay,
thing with the cynthia bushes are when you pull into the driveway. That's always been a contention as far as them not plowing it good or not at all, and what it looks like. Whereas, you know, it would be something more permanent where we wouldn't have to worry about it again.
Yeah, and as I understand, we do not pay for mowing, the town pays. So
Correct.
we
Yeah.
don't put a penny in there, so we can't really complain. And well, my put in, I don't think we want to go in, you know, into any conflict with the town.
No,
Yeah,
They
don't
are
want
our
trouble.
town, so if they spoil something, let's just quietly fix it, that's all.
no.
You know, especially that we don't pay for it.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And then the next is the building maintenance, which there's a lot of work that's going to need to be done. And so we're going to try to get done what we can, a little bit at a time. And actually that actually went down from 13,000 to 9,400. So, and already we've been doing things on our own to cut costs.
But that's another thing where we have the Synaxo for the building envelope, but they haven't gotten back to us. We don't have quotes, but we wanted to make sure there was some money, so it showed that there was a need, but we don't have the figures for that yet.
Right, but that was something we talked about possibly submitting to ARPA. And
Yeah.
I've tried to find out what the situation is. There's a committee for ARPA, but I haven't been able to find out what the process is to request things through them. I also joined the CIP committee, and Elena, let me tell you, Board of Education is the only group in town that does a really good submission for the CIP. Their requests were beautiful. Everybody else is like, well, we think it's going to cost this, we think it's going to cost that. BOE did a very good job. So it would be nice if that was not out of our budget.
But again, we're trying to think, this 5-year plan, what can we get done a little at a time, and yet, tackle something as,
Right, yeah, no, there are things that need to be done. The building's 15, 16 years old, things need to be done. We understand that. It's just, it would be nice if we didn't have to pay for some of these.
Yeah, I have a question down the line, that's okay?
Yes,
The custodial services, I don't remember how did that happen that we have custodial services 9,600 here.
okay, hang on. Is that the next thing after building and
Yes.
maintenance? Because I have telephone and internet.
Well, yeah, after those.
Sorry, I'm just trying to go down one by one. Okay, so we've got a total of 9,600 for building and maintenance. That does not include a possible cost for Synaxo. We have to wait to see, we get quotes on that and what that might be and see where we can get that paid for, right?
Yeah, Karen Ann, that does include 5,000
buffer.
possible buffer for Synaxo. That is in there. The rest is just our annual
Oh.
cost. Yeah, that
Okay.
includes the 5,000.
Okay, it's just, I guess everything else just looked so big. I didn't realize that that was part of it. Okay. Okay, phone and internet are set fees, right?
Well, the phone actually is, we're bringing up the subject of possible cell phone
Not
again.
possible, definite.
That could benefit the library, so that's the difference in cost for the telephone. The internet is set.
Okay.
Now my question about custodial services.
Yeah, now your question about custodial
Sorry.
services, Elena.
So, yeah, I just do not understand why do we have custodial services here and custodian in our administration part?
Yep, I agree.
So, what is this all about? I mean,
Because
We don't have a
of exactly
custodial
what they
service
say.
anymore.
Currently, they had a cleaning company, so it had to be listed separate. It wouldn't be
Total active budget.
payroll.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
now, if they have an in-house custodian, then it goes back under payroll.
which is why we put it to 0 and put it in the other line. Yeah, exactly, to put it under payroll.
Yeah, but here we have total after budget cut. So
No,
that should be
0.
0.
It is 0 right here.
no, it is 0 here. It is 0. I just wanted to know why did we do it in 2 lines before? That was my question. So,
We didn't, I don't think
We
we did it
didn't.
in lines before.
We didn't,
No.
no, we didn't. We didn't have a custodian before we had the custodial service. Now we're taking away the custodial service because we think we can do better and save money with having somebody come in just as a custodian here.
Yeah, just
So
flip
it-
flop.
yeah.
okay, so yeah, I see that we never doubled. I see, I apologize. That's my, I just wanted to know that we should really maybe,
Not both, just
recognize
one.
this.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, it is a good question, Elena, but it just has to do with whether we're outside or in-house. So,
Now, as
Okay.
far as the security maintenance, we've got no budging on that, but we are going to, we do need some changes in the outdoor lighting, and we do need to get our cameras set up. We don't know what kind of cost those will be. It's just one that we know is needed. And I don't know if I don't even know if the town would be a part of that either. I know they just had all that kind of stuff done at their building. The only reason why I say that is because that's what the police officer said that we need to do, and why don't we have it done? Because the town does have it. So it's something that we need to get up and working.
okay, now this again is something that the town has in all their stuff. Is it possible to get the town to give us a camera setup?
no, we'd have to find that out.
I don't,
Cameras,
Elena, yes? What?
yeah, I'm sorry. You are talking about building, about what part about cameras for the security?
security.
Purposes?
Yeah,
Don't we have the cameras? I thought we had them for a while.
We had them for a very short time. They didn't work well. They weren't sufficient. We're told that they can be adjusted. I just don't know to make the changes.
yeah,
If
to
we
get them
need
up
to
and
buy
running
something
again.
different, something more dependable, reliable, something more involved.
And one's outside.
We do
too.
have some. They definitely have to be rearranged
Yeah,
from how they're facing now. We're not sure how to get that up and running, what that cost is going to be. I know
I
our
think-
electrician said that he put them up. We talked to him. He said he'd come out and rearrange them however we would want them to be. So yeah, we're not sure about those costs, just that it does need to get done.
mhm.
I think that should be our priority because that's security. We have lots of stuff in there.
Mhm.
And if the insurance, if something happens, please Lord keep us safe from it, but if something happens and the insurance sees that we did not provide a certain level of security, they may not even cover the expenses for the losses for us. So I think we can just, we have to prioritize it to the certain level, to the higher level a little bit.
Try to squeeze it in this budget.
What Elena says makes sense. I don't know anything about what insurance covers and what they don't cover. But yeah, if insurance is going to say, you got broken into because you had no security, so therefore there's a problem, that's gonna be an issue.
Well, the problem is not the problem. We do have cameras. As I understand, all we need is just to invite a professional who would adjust them correctly. So that's really probably one visit of the professional who would put it in order and make it working right.
Okay, let me re-ask. I was under the impression they were there, but they weren't hooked up, not just pointed in the wrong direction. Are they working and just
No,
pointing in the wrong
no,
direction?
They're not pointed in the right direction and they're not working. They haven't worked years now, probably.
Yeah, so it's more than just coming in and pointing them various ways.
That's part of it.
They've actually got to be put back in service.
yes.
So we need a professional just to reinstall them. That's all. We don't need to buy anything. Maybe some wires.
Oh, no,
or
no, no.
whatever.
Well, yeah,
I don't think any of
exactly.
that is purchases, is it? It's just,
No,
Well,
it's just
that-
mostly, well,
We don't know if what was put there is actually sufficient for what the job needs to get done.
like Elena said, maybe some wires, but the majority labor of what it's gonna cost for him to get this up and running again. I mean, it's the same guy who installed them, but yeah, we don't know the extent of what's. And
If they
then-
work for what we need, the police
Yeah.
officer said it should be facing the driveway coming in and out. And it should be something that is adjusted, but the cameras we have now, kind of crazy, they would run for 24 hours, and if you didn't check them within the 24 hours, it would erase. Now, it's my understanding from the police and with our electrician that you can adjust them where it would last longer, say for the weekends. You wouldn't lose anything. It would run for a longer amount of time, and there'd be a way that you could check it for a certain amount of time before it expires. And, so there's a few things that we have been told that we're learning about that, we just have to make sure that it matches or meets our needs of what we need to have going on with them. They weren't before.
okay.
Joanne has a
so-
hand up. Joanne has a question.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I keep looking down at the paper and not seeing. Joan?
On the security, I suggest we raise the budget. And that we, so that we can hire somebody to come in and do an assessment and make the suggestions. Because some of these ideas, I'm not sure they're gonna work, but some of them might, just to maintain what we're doing is not increasing the security that we need. We're putting all kinds of extra computers in and everything else in the building. We should maybe do that. The thing too is that we should have on the driveway, we should have a sensor, a motion sensor that would turn the cameras off and on. And so that would be helpful. And the film only goes for so many minutes. Why, you're not going to be watching trees for
Yeah.
24 hours. Okay, or something like that. Anyways, that's my suggestion for it. But let's
Yeah.
up the budget here and let's get, even put, if we have to, an extra couple thousand in there to have a consultant come in. And of course, again, if the consultant doesn't charge that much, we don't need it, we can use it someplace else. We'll buy books with it, if anything else. But, this is too important at this point in time to just let it go.
Can I say
Yes,
something?
Elena.
Yes, I think, first of all, I think we are not doing a very good thing by discussing it in a public meeting. We probably should have some executive meeting for this question. And I am sure there is some equipment, Joanne, which you just said, it's already with sensitive, just we have to fix it. And I can't imagine that we increase budget without having any idea of how much it can cost.
Well,
Maybe we
our
have a
back-
spending. We have, maybe if there will be a need to put money into it after we have an amount and full understanding of what needs to be done, then we can take it from our funds, from our money, library money. That's a good spending of the money. But to increase the budget because maybe it's 2,000 or 3 or 5 or 500. I kind of don't feel,
Well, a consultant is, probably going to be between $1,000 and two, I would assume. If we don't increase the budget, where would we find that money once we call it?
we would take it from our own money, from the library money, from our funds which we have.
Yeah.
That's where we would take if we
Yeah,
have.
Yeah,
Okay, do we have a fund that we could take it from? I don't know.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
that's
so
fine.
then we'll do that. Okay, good idea, Elena.
and that may be the case too, when we were talking about the budget, there may be things that might be a little bit more, that being an example where we do have the fund balance, that's what it's there for too. So we don't have to, it doesn't have to reflect in the budget. We could just, when it comes up and when we find out what it costs, we could take it out of the fund balance. And I learned too that as long as the board approves, you can take money out of the fund balance at any time during the year. You don't have to wait till the end of the year to do it. You have the power to approve it, and say something comes up like somebody for security or whatever, you can right then pay the people. You don't have to worry about doing it at the end of the year or whatever, because you can't touch the money.
Okay, thank you.
Touch it anytime. The custodial supplies is pretty much what we would need to supply the custodian, whoever's going to be cleaning, whether us or hiring someone. That's just, we would then incur that cost, where before the custodial services,
Included.
sometimes they include their own supplies. Not all of them, mind you, but they do, take care of some things. So that's where the 1,200 comes into. Propane doesn't change. Same with electricity. We tried to do some work on that, no change. We'll add the mileage of the 350 to the miscellaneous to make it 550.
Yep.
As far as the community programs, we have a 0. But again, this year, 2023, we don't have a month or a date, but we did find that, we have our 100th anniversary coming up in 2023. So this is only part of 2023, the budget, but we don't know what we're doing, what kind of a cost will be incurred, depending on what we do. That's something that we thought too could come out of the fund balance if we need it. We were thinking that, what the library would do as far as community programs. But we left it at 0 for now. Library resources, change that to 0.
100.
100 we're going to keep, okay. Kind of thing.
Okay, guys, I gotta step away for a minute. James was downstairs trying to fix the electricity and a cat disappeared. Give me a couple, you guys keep talking.
We'll take a break for 5 minutes. Can we take a break for 5 minutes?
Yeah, we can
If
take
you
a
are
break for
gonna
5
step
minutes.
away,
Okay,
that's okay?
yes, okay,
Thank
so we'll
you.
take a break for
Thank you.
5 minutes.
Thank you.
Okay. The problem is she's so scared of you. If she is
There was one thing that tripped and it didn't do anything, but I want to test 2 others that did not trip. I want to turn them off and turn them on, but I didn't want to do that because
Can you wait till after my meeting's done?
when is that going to be?
It's supposed to be 9 o'clock, but I don't know. Can I have this set? Supposed to be 9 o'clock, but it is like
why don't you do your food trip?
Only two came. I don't know where she is. Like I said, if she's downstairs, she's scared of you. She might be hiding someplace. I don't know. But can I get through this meeting, please? I know everything's screwed up. We have no electricity. I understand all of that. But I'd like to get through this meeting.
Karen, at this house, there's one thing every
Yeah.
damn day, never fails. There's always something you have to contend with.
I just-
It's like,
James, I tried to go upstairs and there was no electricity, and James says he went down after he got through with his phone call and flipped the breaker that had been tripped, but the lights haven't come back on yet. And in the meantime, there's a cat missing.
would it be outdoor? Could the cat have gotten outdoors?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I don't think there's a way to get outdoors from downstairs because we've got one of those bulkheads in the back,
yeah.
and it should be sealed up. But if there's a cat, I don't want to get out. It's this one, because this is the feral wild one.
Yeah.
You can't find her?
And I can't find her. I even did my trick of shaking the food bag, and the other two came running and she didn't.
Oh. She gotta be. I don't know.
I don't know. When we're done with this meeting, I'll follow James downstairs and see if I can find her.
Increases in that.
So we'll just wait for everybody to get back.
I'm back, sorry. I was here, I was just chewing.
Oh, no, it's okay. A break was good. I just still can't find a cat. Okay, I don't know if Kathy and Rebecca are back.
Okay.
Just
Reading,
We're on.
good read for all the library people. The Paris Library,
Yeah.
really good. I'm liking it. And I've learned a lot about libraries. And this gal in here has memorized the Dewey Decimal System.
I would say them.
And so when they talk about something, they give you the decimal number. It's really kind of strange, but it's a good book. I'm going to recommend it to all the library people who like libraries. Let's put it that way. So. Huh.
Thank you.
No, it really has to do with the French resistance during the war too, which is something I keep on running into in books for some reason. Well, you got to have your nails clipped.
I would say then just trying to save money.
Yeah, I mean, we can definitely leave it.
It's
Well,
okay with
all
me.
these spent-
If we
Yeah,
don't spend it, it'll just go into the fund balance.
exactly.
To
Agree
fill
with
up,
that.
to buy that many books, we would fill up our shelves and not have any room for next year. You can see writer in the television.
Mm.
And you know what too? And I want to say, God forgive.
Joan,
Yeah, I'm here.
okay. My computer froze. So I just dialed in from the phone. Is everybody else there?
Yes, we are all
Kathy-
present.
Kathy isn't here.
I don't know what happened to my computer. All of a sudden it froze. Okay, the reason I asked if everybody's there is because I don't have the gallery picture.
Okay, but it's Kathy here.
I don't know.
Well,
She was just here. She just got connected.
I'm
Kathy,
here.
okay,
I'm here. I'm just trying to start my video. Sorry.
okay. Okay, where were we?
The next is books. And you guys, if you want to leave it at the 15,000, I mean, I'm perfectly fine with that. We were just trying to save some money, that's all.
Yeah.
Trying to think of, where we could cut, where we're not hurting anything. And, so that was just one thing that, we did a little rearranging, like I said, with the audios and the DVDs, add a little bit more there. So you're only missing like that maybe 2,600 something, but if you want to leave it to the, yay, great. That we don't have to change it.
I have a question. Can I ask a question?
Yes, Lena.
Yes, so my question concerns newspapers and magazines. So we used to pay in 2021, 1,500. Then last year we paid 1,200. So, and this year you're asking for the same 1,200. My question is, are the prices for all the newspapers and magazines are the same? They did not go up or they did go up?
We do not know that. We're just working on what it was before. Right now, we haven't even been able to order them. Again, because of COVID and our cleaning routine, you can't sanitize them. Books you can sanitize because of the way they're covered. You cannot sanitize a newspaper or magazine, which means then it goes into quarantine, which is for 2 weeks. So it doesn't make any sense to have any of those at this time. But again, thinking about when this budget comes into being, that we will be able to get them back. Right now, that expense on this budget hasn't been used yet, kind of thing. But as far as the price going up, when it came to magazines, there were a lot of great deals that we found that we'll probably even saving more money than we ever did before. So, and also with the newspapers, we just found out, and we have a message into the state library, because we want to make sure that what we heard is true. But supposedly anyone in the state of Connecticut that has a library card can use the Connecticut State Library to read local newspapers, even the New York Times. So we're seeing if that's true. And if that's the case, I don't know if we, with the different fees we pay to belong to different organizations like the Connecticut Library Association, the Connecticut State Library, it may just be that these membership fees, the annual fees that we pay, may include that kind of benefit. No one ever told us about it, but you know, I looked into it and someone said, oh yeah, so that may be a cost that we can cross right out. There are, you can, I know as individuals, get a newspaper and magazine. I just don't think, and I haven't worked that out yet to see if they do anything for, say, libraries where multiple people would be able to get into it and use it. But I'm told that's not cheap. The state library may offer it for free. So we're looking into that. But as far as Elena, you're saying the price changing, we didn't look into the newspapers because it kind of seemed like a rude point. And we figured, you know, we'll just stay with last year's figures, you know, at this point.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Karen, I think our recording is paused. Is there a way, do you have an ability to start recording?
It is recording.
Is it recording? I thought it's paused, no?
I don't know. I'm on my phone now
Oh, okay.
and it says it's recording on my phone.
Yeah,
It's blinking like it is paused, like it is on the pause. It's okay, I don't know, maybe I don't understand. Sorry, I
It's
just
not
wanted to, you know, check it out.
doing that on my end. It just says record on my end.
Okay, thank you, sorry. So,
No, I appreciate you saying it. It's just,
Yeah.
since I'm on the phone now instead of the computer, I just have to go with what shows up on my screen.
Yeah.
Sorry.
it's okay. So when it comes to newspapers and magazines, I know that there are quite a good amount of newspapers and magazines which provide online information, not how to say, I lost the word. So you can,
are you looking for the word subscription?
subscription, sorry, thank you so much.
Well,
So you
got
can
it
really yeah, thank you. So well, 9 o'clock almost. So subscription, online subscription provide full information and even more than the paper version. So I wonder if some of the magazines, major magazines or newspapers which we used to get, if we can check them out, if they have this ability now, if we can buy the online version, make it available for our citizens.
Yeah,
I know I subscribe to the Hartford Current and I get online free with my subscription. So their online may be available if you buy a subscription. I don't know. Eventually, we don't want just online because there are people who want to come in and actually have a physical newspaper or magazine. But
we have people waiting even right now that keep asking, did you get the newspaper yet? You know, but you know, you're right, it's true. People are missing that and are looking forward to actually coming in and reading.
I wonder if we can consider, because of COVID, maybe because we can provide a lot of paper copies, maybe we can get 2 newspapers, but we get many copies. We spend that money on getting 10 copies every week. So whoever comes, they just take it and keep it, let them keep it. But at least they'll have the feeling of using newspaper. I don't know. Is it possible for us just
That's
to give
a great
away
idea,
those?
but I think that's a great idea, but you're gonna have, it's gonna be more costly to do that, but you could.
But if we still have money and, you know, COVID is probably going to be staying for a while. So who knows?
Yeah, we can.
We'll find out multiple copies and see how that changes in price.
Yeah, we can look into that.
And let people keep it. We can advertise it and let people that you can keep it.
We'll do that and we'll see what the price is, Elena, on that. If there's, yeah, what kind of
Thank you.
cost that would be.
Yeah.
Thank you. So another question, like after order, I understand the order. So we actually cut on ordering DVDs and CDs from 4,275, we are now 1,200. I thought you said that we put some money into it, but I see that it's decreased.
No,
It's
we, no,
5,500.
it's 5,500, Elena.
Where do I look? Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. I moved this thing because
It
it
went
came
up
on
a
the
little bit.
Yeah, I'm sorry. My mistake. I'm sorry.
No, that's-
Yeah, mostly for the audios because they're pretty costly.
would you like us to just leave the book still at 15,000?
Yeah, we can
Well,
leave how it was.
I definitely would not cut the books because that's the whole purpose of having a library.
Oh, yeah.
That's always what it's been. Again, just trying to see, you know, where we can make little changes. Not that it would have been permanent, but again, for this year.
So then I would keep the audios, DVDs at the 4,275 and then just put the books back to the.
Yeah, but I don't think that's
15,000.
enough for the audios, is it?
Yeah, I think it would be for where we stand this year.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Rebecca. No, you,
Sorry.
since I'm on the phone, people have to say, I have a question, because I can't see all of you. So, yes,
Okay,
Rebecca.
it's my understanding with books. So yes, I totally agree with Elena that books are the purpose of a library. I'm just wondering
Yeah,
if we have ever spent that much on books
no.
and if it's even possible that we spend that much on books.
Well, that's why we
That's
did
just
cut
it.
it, because when we were doing our figures over the last 2 years, we even went like, because I do a monthly, like, okay, we got like 56 books a month, we're averaging 700 a year. We're not having complaint. People love our new book section, so
Yeah,
it's like,
we really don't need, we haven't used that kind of money.
yeah,
But it's just something that was always there. And again, going back to when this is a price that's never changed since the very beginning. I bet if you go back to 2006 or 2007,
15,000.
it's 15,000. But also at the time, we didn't have any books on our shelves. We just had what was transferred from our library at the school. And I know, because there was nothing, people would walk in and here you had this massive building and all these shelves and there were no books on it. And that's what I was saying earlier. We've done a lot of weeding, so we have space. But if we were to spend that whole amount of money, we wouldn't have any space left.
Yeah,
over.
it would be insane.
Again, and then we'd be weeding out books before they need to be weeded out, because there's, you know.
I mean, we're going with the best sellers, we're taking suggestions, we're doing patron requests, we're doing a monthly book buy, so.
And
Well,
again, if it ever were to go up, we certainly could put it back or use the fund money for notice that, you know, that trend changes, but we haven't been spending that kind of money.
Well, can I ask a question, please? Sorry, I'm sorry for interrupting.
No, go ahead.
Maybe I'm sorry. So my question is, I think there were quite a few years when those 15,000 was spent for the books. We are talking within last 2 years, they were not spent. But obviously 2 years are very different years. So, but before we used to spend all the money. There were quite a few years when that money was spent, as I understand. Maybe I'm mistaken, but I would like that to be checked if we can. That's how I'm sure we used to spend. But my second note is, we could say that we read the books or we whatever, you know, just recently, my personal experience, we may have all the modern books, but I needed a book for my son's school, The Last of Mohegans, simple, Philemon Cooper, James F.J. Cooper, whatever, we don't have it.
Well, there's a lot of times where we've had books and we just can't keep them because we don't have the
No.
space, and that's too bad
Well,
too.
That's like,
The
That's like,
older-
why do we have the library if we don't have the book level of The Last of Mohegans? That's like a school classical book, and we don't have it. We have a children's version, which is not really the book which we need. It's a very different edition. It's not counted, but the classical edition not there. So I wonder how many other classical editions. Then I tried to find Benjamin Franklin book, his autography. So sorry. So, and we don't have it either. So although that's a classic school requirements for years, and we don't have it. So I'm just wondering, we have something written by somebody, but the classic version, like real version. So if we can maybe start some project of checking at least the presence of the classical books, world classic. Let's talk about even world classic books.
No, we did have them, and we went through a time with one of the directors that did get rid of anything when it wasn't, hadn't gone out after so many years. And we had a homeschool family, matter of fact, that had used it in prior years and was looking for it. So you're right, I don't want to, I wish we could store everything. I don't want to ever get rid of anything. But that has happened, unfortunately.
But don't you think we should?
Alana's got a point. Even if we have to put it in a special section, like an archive section, we should have a collection of classics.
Yes,
should.
agreed. Yes.
We do.
Sorry, Karen, and I'm so sorry I interrupted you again. I'm sorry.
It's fine. It's fine.
I just think the books which are classical section, it should never be weeded. It should be present, no matter if it is asked or not asked. It just should be there. Because are we teaching kids on Hunger Games and forget about Cooper? They both need it, but I would say the world classic should be definitely there.
Okay, so if we put the books back up to 15,000, could we use some of that to create a classics collection?
Thank you.
I know space is an issue, Deb. I know that.
No, I'm saying we do have a classic selection. We do. It's labeled with special classic spine labels for the kids. We don't carry perhaps every, I don't know, author, every edition or whatever, but, and if something's missing and like, if you notice it, let us know, because we'll definitely, get it, to put in it, but.
Deb, you just said for the kids. And Elena pointed out there is a kids version of Last of the Mohicans, but not an actual version. So when you're saying classics, is it in the adult section or is it in the kids section?
We have actually classics in both sections. Some are repeats, some are our children's versions, and then they have the same in as far as in the adult section. Then there are some that are just adult classics that aren't in the children's, depending on what the the book is. But yeah, we probably did lose a lot of them when reading gets done, unfortunately.
Well,
It doesn't happen anymore, because when we did it this time, we made sure that all classics were kept. Even if a book has not gone out, we still kept it if it's something we felt we should have.
Or even we went through all the patrons we had a big problem with people not returning books, and a lot of classics were in there. We reordered copies. If it came back in disarray, we got an extra copy. We're not opposed to.
We had a lot of books that have great value to them, and people take them out and they don't return them, or people steal them right off the shelves, and we don't know that they're missing until we go to look for it. It's like, okay, that one disappeared.
And the girls did good research on that, and, getting all of the.
So we know for a fact that's gone on. So we're trying to be careful.
That is something we can look into and see what's there and what isn't. But what do we want to do for the value? 10,000 or 15,000?
I would suggest strongly 15,000. I mean, we read it. There are books missing. There is a problem with classical books. And we used to spend 15,000, maybe except last 2-3 years. So
money for books.
I would strongly suggest to keep 15,000, if not increase, because then why are we even there?
Okay, if we take the books back up to 15,000, can we drop the audio a little bit?
Yeah, we can put it back at the 4275, so it'd be no difference from last year. We can work with that.
Okay, so leaving 15, leaving at 14. Okay.
Yeah.
So those two items don't change. Stays at 15,000 and stays at 4275.
Okay.
It will bring change though to our total budget.
Yes. We'll put the numbers in with the sheet that Donna gave us.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Okay, we're almost done. It is 9 to the last of it.
Oh, the Patron hardware with the Okay, what do we have for the cardio? Let's see, can't take a note.
Nothing, because we
Okay.
don't need it, because the fire department. took
So
it.
that went down. Yeah, all these things went down. This one went down.
Well, hold on. Patron hardware. You said it went down. It went up. We had 650, now we have 1,500.
No,
Why?
no.
No, it's actually 650.
They're talking about the 650 is gone, not the whole thing is down. They're just talking.
No, it went down, I was saying, as far as because we don't have the AED machine anymore. When that runs out, we're gonna have it with the fire department at no cost. So,
Okay,
But now it's 1,500. Now
So
right,
it's
so that's something new in there. This game station.
I mean,
Yeah, so we have the 1,500 for the game station. The game station's already bought, but we haven't gotten any games, any, if we need monitors to set it up, just that sort of thing, that's still in the works.
we'll need things to go along with the game station now that we have the game station.
Okay, so you have
That's station hardware. That would be in the paper.
the game station. This is peripherals.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, may I ask a question?
Yes, you have to say, can I ask? Because I can't see you guys. Yes, Joe.
Okay, I wanted to ask a question. Number one, I have an issue with even having a game station. Considering all of the stuff that is coming out about problems with children before screens too much. So I have an issue with that. That's an old lady issue, I'm sure. And
No,
you can
I'm
chalk
with
it
you.
up to that. The other thing, now what was it I wanted to say in here? Oh, the defibrillator. We're not going to have one in the building?
No, we
What-
we'll get, what ended up happening is they came in from the fire station and said that they would have one for us free, but because ours was bought not too long ago for an extreme amount of money, we're gonna let it run its course and then expire, and then we're gonna replace it. So we'll have a matching one with every other town building, but they didn't want to waste the machine we currently had because it was pretty much
It's
almost
still-
brand
yeah.
new.
We're still paying for it and it hasn't expired. The pads and everything are still good.
So what is this? No need fire department taking over? If the machine is still working,
But this whole thing goes back to 3 years ago when the town had this program going on, is when we had
yes,
gotten our
I
own
know that story,
AED.
but I don't understand the
No,
budget line.
This one is,
Too many people talking at once.
Yeah.
sorry,
Joan?
Yeah, I don't understand the budget line saying that they take over and it's zero. Okay, so we don't,
You misunderstand.
that in the future, maybe next year they take over and we're paying for it this year? Because it says $650 there for our defibrillator. We have to pay $650 for the defibrillator?
We
No.
we paid a lot of money for the one that we have.
I know, but then this doesn't go in this budget because it's already paid for. Right?
exactly.
No,
that's-
there's a.
Okay, so let's take that right out here.
Well,
Okay, the cardio partners, we have no expenses this year, right?
That's why right before it says no need, there is a zero in parentheses.
we
Yeah,
did take it out.
just to show you that it is being taken over now, and that includes, Joan, the training too, like, before we
Every
had to
2
pay
years.
for training every 2 years for the
Okay,
staff.
but all we have to say now is that this year, we have no costs for the defibrillator, it's paid for. We have no cost for the training, the fire department will do it.
Exactly.
Correct.
Okay, and then we're not gonna worry about replacing the defibrillator. That has nothing to do with us right at this point in time. Next year it may, we may have to make a note that we need a new one. Okay, because we need a defibrillator there. I need to have a defibrillator when I go anyplace, so I worry about that.
We won't be without one.
So I'm not sure that you could revive me if I keel over, but at least you felt like you tried. Okay.
Okay, so the
Okay, thank you.
hardware is this game station peripherals.
Yes.
So can I ask something about it? Because can I say something?
Yes, Elena.
Yeah, first of all, I'm so sorry, Joanna, I interrupted you, but I was so excited to hear from you that you do not support that game station, because I'm totally with you. I think the library should be, they have electronics everywhere home. The library should be for books. So they would develop reading habits, good reading habits, not junk reading habits. So that's why I think it's important to have a collection of classical books there, very sturdy and full collection. But as I understand, as you said, that game station, it has 1,500 in there. So if we this year do not do anything with that, and can we just slow down and forget about spending on game station and just put that money towards books, so our budget would not increase at this point? That's my suggestion.
I need to tell you, okay, the problem is the game station was paid for not by the library. That was a gift money that was given to us to bring young people into the library because they felt that there was a need for it. So we've actually purchased it. To have the game station not have games to play is a little crazy because then it's not going to get used. Now, if you want to wait until somebody else, we get some, somebody else donates money saying, because, well, geez, I got you the game station, where's the games? We can certainly see if they want to pay for those as well, but I can't, it'd be nice to, we got it, we should help it out. And matter of fact, things like this are very much involved in libraries. I don't think you'd find one library that doesn't have something like this.
No, that doesn't make any difference. I'm sorry. There is so much evidence out there now of the damage that's being done to children by spending time playing these damn games. That's all there is to it. And now they're looking into actual physiological brain changes. So let's table this until we get some more research on that. How's that?
Yeah,
Is
and
that a
how
good
about
compromise? Let's just leave it alone and then maybe next year go in with it. Or if we decide in 3 months after we've read all the research that we'll find money in the miscellaneous or something. But I'm not in favor of these.
Meanwhile, we can put that 1,500 towards the books.
Well, we can put it, or we can put it into a miscellaneous fund. And then if we decide that we really want them, or there are a couple games that are very educational, but also fun, well, maybe we should think about it. But to just put it in there and say we're going to buy popular games, I'm too old fashioned. That's all. You can tell me that. I'll go along with it.
But if we will put that money towards the books, I'm sorry, Debbie, I don't like.
No, go ahead.
If we will put that money towards the books, then there will not be really increase to our budget by us returning to 15,000 from 10,000. So that would help us to balance budget to where it is now without increasing it.
Okay, a couple more things. The reason why this was done to bring the young people into the library, to offer them something which would lead to, with being in the library, hopefully, which is the way it's supposed to work, that they would be taking out books and whatnot, because they are, now you have them. Yes, they're here for one thing, but they would see the books. It's in an area where it's in with the young adult section, those books. So it is where, it would promote library visitations and would promote, once you're here, taking out books and and taking them home. It was kind of like a catalyst to not get the young people here, but also once they're here, yes, most definitely for books. I am not one for games. My kids have never owned them. I agree fully, but then I just want to caution you, when you do that, how close to the line are you as far as banning? Like if you wanted to.
We're not banning any individual thing. We're not using an available, what do I want to say? An available game set. This is not appropriate for a library, in my estimation. But that doesn't mean other libraries do a lot of things that we don't. We don't have to do what every other library does. We can say, we're putting this on hold until we look at it further. And then make a decision. That's what I'm asking. So
Can I
anyway,
ask
that's my compromise.
Can I ask something?
Yeah.
Can we take that $1,500 out, reapply it to the books? And at some point, if a decision is made, can we use Mr. North's money?
It's technology.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, we can wait for somebody else's donation for that purpose, but at least it's not from the budget. I don't have anything against it. It's just, I think the book should be our priority. Because I can tell you, I would come multiple times with my son to the library, and he would go to the computer and he would not touch the book. I'm sorry. I would get the bunch of books for him, not him, because there was a computer. So when there is like to have computer to text, well, it never worked for me. I'm sorry. And I think it's kind of manipulative. I think they need to go to the library to get the book. Yeah, but again, I don't want to push it on anyone. I understand all the modern world.
If they don't come, forget your books.
Yeah. Okay.
So can we, as Karen in, can we do that? Can we just reply towards the books? So we would not have increase in budget.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
What,
Yeah, I mean,
put that up
I
here.
don't even think we would need to. We
You
could
don't
just
even
get
have to
rid
do
of
that.
it,
Just leave the books as it is and just,
put it
No,
as
but
is.
then you will be short. Then the budget will increase. But if we will put that 1,500 towards the books, then the budget will not increase if we put back towards the books.
isn't it okay if the budget's short less if you're not gonna, I mean, if we're not going to use it and you want to wait or use donation money, I would say just get rid of that altogether and don't put it anywhere. You just would be $1,500 less in spending money.
Yeah,
Right,
but
right.
then,
But,
You-
okay, what Elena is saying is if we up the book budget from 10,000 to 5,000, 15,000,
We
that's
did.
5,000 we're adding to the budget. By taking this out, then we're not adding so much to the budget. It's not like we're moving it someplace. We're just trying to not increase the budget too much.
Yeah. that
thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, you say tomato, I say tomato, I got it. That's what I was trying to, that's.
Let's
Okay,
just
right.
take that out for now. And we can relook at it in the future at some point if we want to.
Agree with it, but-
was spicy.
Thank you very much. Thank you, guys.
Okay, Patron Software. The $2,000 for licensing is coming out of this budget, so we don't need it for next year's budget. So
Correct.
all we
Correct.
need is the Librarica and the Veronics.
Yep.
Okay. But these are just with outside library resources. So
That's,
these memberships and annual fees, et cetera. So these are things that
Can't budge.
Yeah.
are.
we
are-
need and we use and we save money with them, most definitely.
Okay, so is anybody working on the Excel sheet?
I am on the
I can't
Excel
know what
sheet.
our current budget is now.
You want to, can you bring up the Excel sheet? These things, what they're talking about?
I would total it all up except for the fact that my calculator batteries are dead, so I've been using my phone all night, but now that I'm on this for the phone, I can't do it.
So you're talking about putting the books back.
Right.
Well, what was the budget on the Excel sheet? What was the total?
So are we done with this part? Because I have did not print out everything. So there are no more lines. The last line is 0903 programs. That's the last line before revenues come.
Okay, we're not doing revenues yet. We're just doing outgoes.
Okay, so I don't,
Well, revenues you don't do anything with anyway.
no, I wanted to know if there is additional line.
Okay, total expense.
No, that's the budget.
125,000, is that it?
Okay, so we did.
Okay, I hang on. My computer's dead, so I can't find anything. So
there's
I don't have a copy of that Excel sheet. I was just looking.
Over here.
So we really have to just move money around instead of 10,000, 15,000. Otherwise, we didn't change anything else.
Yeah, no, we dropped. We upped by 5,000 for the books. Then we went down by 1,500 for the game station and
Okay.
down by 725 for the audio.
Back into the health insurance or just a 500, 500, 500?
Well, that's the revenue right there.
That's 500.
Let's see. Assets and liabilities. These are all the funds.
We have 1,000. No, we have 1,225. 1,225 difference with audiobooks and DVDs.
Professional development was 0.
That's 1,225 if we go back to 4270.
Where did I get
Oh,
professional?
yeah, okay, sorry. I subtracted from 5,000, not 5,500. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you for picking that up.
Yeah, so that's 1,225 plus 1,500. So that's 1,725. No, 2,725. 2,725.
So that's what we're
Yeah.
approving, and we're adding 5,000. So that makes a difference of 2,275 that we would be going up.
Yes.
Super.
So it's 257,826.
What was the total for the year?
225, Gwen, if I understand it right. Hold on, no. hold on.
I can't understand a bit of this.
So as I understand from the Excel sheets that you provided the budget without any increase, 425,000, the same as last year. Do I understand it correctly? Because I have messed up here with sheets with printing out.
Okay, well, I cannot write this into this, into the minutes, the totals and stuff, because I can't find them on the Excel sheet. I don't do anything with stuff like this. And I don't understand what's going on. So I will just put down that the budget is done and is available. You know.
No, hold on, hold on, hold on.
read it. That's
No.
all I can do. Because I'm coming up with a total here of what, 27 here and then something else. And a
Yeah.
lot of these have no line items next.
Miscellaneous.
The same, we are the same. We have so Debbie and Hope, could you please give us exact numbers?
We're working on it.
I don't
The
have any.
total, what was the total before when you provided us the budget before we did this change with books?
What I'd like
was
to
the
put in here is the total on the budget and the percentage increase overall. That's all I really
Okay,
need.
that,
Hold on a second.
I can answer that if somebody wants to. This is prior, before we have some of these changes now, which we're working on the Excel sheet. We're just.
Okay, well, once we get the
Give us a
change.
minute with that.
Okay.
I'm done.
But,
This is the
so you
number I
have-
got.
so you've got down the books changed, you got
Yeah.
down the mileage, put the figure in the mileage and
Yeah.
miscellaneous.
And Hope, let me just say something.
Yeah.
Just
You put
remember
1,000 in
that
for-
that percentage, did you fix the percentage equation? Because it's the equation that's wrong.
No,
No, that's something
So-
that's something
Yeah,
Donna
that-
does. Did you put the?
Okay, then you'll have to then manually calculate that to tell everybody because it's not 32%, like I said before, it's 12%,
Well,
like
that's
you were
what-
saying. So
That's something we're gonna talk to Donna tomorrow because they're not around. And we didn't notice that till the weekend.
But do we have a number of the budget which you just provided us, gave us now before the changes? Can you give us that number?
Yeah,
Yes.
because my computer's down, can somebody just tell me what the final budget was before we went through this? on the Excel
Yes.
So tell us, please.
All right, the total, okay, the total was 2,000,
No,
So
200.
260,000,
Hold on. Too many people talking at once. Deb,
okay.
it was,
Did you say 260,700? Okay,
Mhm.
it was 260,711. So it's
$260,000.
$35,711 higher than what last year's budget was at 225,000.
I'm sorry, could you please repeat the number? I could not understand. So could you please repeat the number like by digit? Sorry.
Okay, it's 260, comma, 711.
I do not see anywhere this number in the documents which you send us. I'm sorry. It's what I have. Maybe did not print out because I have one questionable line. Okay, so I for some reason thought that the budget did not increase. So you increased the budget on 35,000
Yes, there was a
comparing with the
24%
last year?
increase.
okay, and what was last year's?
to 225,000.
Even?
Do I understand it right?
And that's giving, as I said, a 24.02% increase under administration.
No,
Was
Deb,
it-
that's what they did with what they are in individual things. We need to know what overall is. What's
Well,
the overall
that's it.
increase?
Well, that's just it. The Excel sheet is not, the Excel sheet is telling you it's like 32% increase. It is not.
Well, I don't see the numbers. I don't have 32 degrees. I don't know. Whatever is the Excel sheet, it did not print out for me right. I
It
have
didn't, no, it
4
didn't print out
pages.
for anybody right. That's what I'm saying.
So,
It didn't figure out right.
so I
You
don't
put in
have
the
the one.
numbers, but the equation for figuring it out, the bottom line item isn't figuring it out correctly. And that's something that we can't do, change the equation. That's something that we've got to ask Donna about doing that. We have the right numbers that are put in. It's just the equation for what it looks like as far as the percentage and the totals and whatever, it doesn't look right.
So,
We're trying to refigure right now, so give us one more minute.
Who was talking?
Elena.
Rebecca, is that you?
Yeah, I just wanted to try to explain to Elena where the numbers are.
uh-huh.
Do you see a number? All right, so there should be a total expense line right under the programs line. It's a double line and it should say on our sheet, which is the original, $254,051.
I don't have it. Mine did not print out. I'm sorry. I don't understand why.
Okay, well, anyway, in the original budget, that meant that they were asking for an increase of $29,000 in the budget. So that was an increase of about 12% is what they were asking for. Now the numbers are going to be a little bit different.
Well, if we've got $260,711 this year's budget, last year's $225,000,
They want us
it
to-
works out to be a difference of about 16%.
Yes.
Right, it does work out to about 16%, but that 260,711 is going to change a little bit with the corrections that we made here. Okay, how close to being done are we, guys? It's 9:25.
Okay, so we increased our budget by 2270. We got to get this done, Karen, just a minute.
I know we
Very
do.
quick, very quick.
Okay, so we increased from what I can tell of 2275.
Yes.
That gives us a total of 262,986.
Two,
62.
no,
Nine-
it's 282. No, 26.
986.
You're right.
Let me just-
No.
260,711 plus 2275.
I can tell you up front, they will never approve it.
Oh, we
So
know
they'll
that.
send
already.
it back.
But last year we asked for a 45% increase. They wanted to give us a -3 and they ended up giving us +8.
22,000.
So we asked for the moon and hope for the space shuttle, you know?
So I guess then for today, for now, we could be done with the budget, send it as it is, and just wait when they return it to us. And then there will be additional meeting to decide what we're gonna cut.
Right.
That's a plan?
Yeah, so what I'm seeing is with the changes we made, the total is now 262,986. Last year, if it was 225,000, that's a difference of 37,986, which is an increase of 17%, 16.9%.
So it doesn't make a significant, it made a difference of about 1%.
Right.
between
Yeah.
what we had. Okay, so we went up 1%. Okay, so overall, the increase is 1%.
No, the increase would be 17%.
Excuse me,
It's
seven-
1% over what you had calculated, Rebecca, but it's 17% total.
Yeah,
Yes.
including, Rebecca, including the increase on books, returning money towards the books. That's what Karen means.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so our final budget then is 262,987.
86,
86.
86.
Uh-huh.
yes.
Okay. Okay. I can't write to save my life today. Okay, and that totals out to an increase of 17%. Is that close enough for government work here right now? And
I think
Okay.
so.
I'm not going through this in detail on the minutes. I can't go through this in detail.
You
No.
don't go through it. Just say we started with 260,711. These are the changes we wanted to make. This is the new budget. That's a 17% increase. Do not go into details.
Yeah.
And then we submit this. I will present to the Board of Finance. And when they get back to us, then we sit down and rework whatever needs to be done.
Well, at least we have
Sounds like a
something.
plan.
I actually
Anything
like the idea.
Else to say?
Yeah, I have to tell you, I'm sorry, guys. Thank you for that. You changed. I know I did not support it, but I'm glad we did it. That we changed the meeting towards the budget. So that was a good idea.
No, considering we're already half an hour over, yes.
But it's okay. We're done. We did it.
Anything else, we'll put it on next month's agenda. Okay, anybody else?
One thing to say, please. Can any of you girls send us what figures you are working with so that we will know what's going on?
Yes, I can
Thank
send
you.
you. Because I don't have a calculator, but I did it all by hand, but I can type it out for you and tell you what I've got. Just
Or even
give
if
me
you
a
send
second.
a copy of the Excel sheet would be okay too, whatever numbers you're,
No, I don't have access to my computer right now, so I can't.
anybody else?
I can take a screenshot and send it to you. Do you want me to do that?
That'd be great. I just want to make sure we're all putting in the right figures.
No,
Yeah,
I just
well,
a fun.
I would take a picture of what I've got, but it's a mess. No one would understand. Okay, anybody else have anything else to say? Kathy, Rebecca, anything?
No,
Do we have anybody present to speak? We didn't beforehand.
We can't have anyone present to speak during the special meeting.
Oh, okay. No problem then. Good. Okay. Can I make a motion to adjourn?
I'll move.
Do we have any more discussion?
Let us. Who seconded?
I did.
That's Kathy.
Kathy, sorry.
Okay, no discussion, okay.
No, I think we're all tired. Okay, I will let everybody know after I talk to Deb about these final numbers and present this to Board of Finance.
Good, good. Well, good luck with them. You did a great job last year. Let's hope it works well again this year for you.
Mhm.
Let's hope. Okay, so I am hoping that at some point this stops recording and stuff because I'm not on the computer anymore, so I don't know what's happening. So I will try and work on this, but in the meantime, I'm leaving everybody else, but I don't have a closed meeting for all is the problem. Okay.
Okay, did we get a vote on adjourning?
Yeah, I think everybody said yes.
Adjourning.
Okay.
Okay. Bye, everyone.
Okay, bye, everyone, and Happy New Year.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye. Have a good month, okay?
Yeah.
Two.